Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. Well, it's not really dawn yet, it's still nighttime, but I do want to watch the news at 6 a.m. Central, so we'll just call it Dawn Busters. I have two single malt Scotch whiskies, both 80 proof. This is Finlaggan Old Reserve. It's Islay Scotch, and it was introduced in 1992. It's aged 6 years, okay? And it was $19.99 at Trader Joe's in Metairie, Louisiana. And my friend David was there Thursday, and he said it's still $19.99. The Isle of Jura single malt Scotch whiskey. This is their Journey. I think a newer offering from them, if I'm not mistaken, sort of their base Scotch. You gotta start at the bottom somewhere. There's got to be an introductory. So this is the base one. It's from the Isle of Jura. Jura Distillery. And it's also 40%, and there's no age statement. Comes in this little cardboard box. I'm gonna have to start throwing these boxes away because they take up too much space, and I'm running out of space. It's a shame. They're pretty, they're pretty, but they're not really necessary. So this is Jura Journey. You can see I'm 45% through it. Single malt Scotch whiskey, matured in American white oak ex-bourbon barrels. That gives it a interesting flavor. Let me put that in the notes. I know the company was founded in 1810. They went out of business at some point. They got revitalized in 1963. They opened the distillery back up. No age statement. But aged in ex-bourbon barrel. We don't have to say American bourbon barrels because bourbon barrels must come from the United States of America. The only country that can produce bourbon is the USA, so you don't have to say American bourbon. It's like saying French cognac. Well, it has to come from France. Okay. This was an easy taste challenge series, really, because Finlaggan is so different. Metal cap is so different from the rest. But when I went up against Ardbeg 10, it was a challenge because cork, but it's the press board cork, press cork. They were both so smoky, and then the smoke canceled each other out. In other words, what I mean is the smokiness from the Finlaggan and the smokiness from the Ardbeg, it made it taste like it wasn't smoked, which was bizarre. So then all I could taste was the grains. Well, you know what I'm saying. What grain? Malted barley in a cap cover also, and then it was a tough. It wasn't. They weren't that different from one another, even though there was a $25 difference in price. So this is a press particle thing too. So that made the Finlaggan win, because if, like Carlo Rossi says, if you can't taste the difference, why pay the difference? Well, I could taste the difference, barely, but it was so minimal, it wasn't really worth. It didn't justify the extra money. So is Ardbeg 10 better than Finlaggan? I suppose a person could make that argument. It's 4 years older, 10 years versus 6. But if you're sitting there doing a taste challenge and it's like the most difficult thing ever to tell them apart, and then you get it right, you say, oh, see how different it is? It's worth the $25 more extra because I barely could tell them apart. Yeah, see, no, it's not worth it. Okay. Well, they're both golden, but the Finlaggan's a slight bit darker. a little bit more amber, a little bit more gold. And I mean a slight bit, like barely darker. But once I start smelling them, I think we'll be able to determine which is which, because one is going to be smoky and the other one is not going to be. The Jura, the main thing I notice about the Jura is like a honey note, honey topped sourly bread. And the Finlaggan is like sea salt, brine, like in a pickle jar type brine. Not, hold on, I'm being paged by a cat. Come on. And the peatiness and that kind of thing. So here we go. Can't look down because just that little bit of slight difference could throw it off. I don't want to be tipped off by appearance. I want it to be a taste challenge. That's the Finlaggan, telling you right now. In my right hand, that's the Jura. Come on, come on. You're not going to drink Scotch, you know that. You're going to get some more cat food after we go walking. Finlaggan. Aroma only. So does that make me some kind of great expert? No. It's just that, well, I mean, anybody could get it right. If I told somebody, well, one of them's smoky and the other one isn't, then they'd smell it and say, well, that's the one you said was smoky. So not much of a challenge, huh? No. The flavors, intense smoke, like I said, the peat, the brininess, the iodine, all that heavy organic matter from the ground. So yeah. There's the, well, that's what was ringing the bell. Yeah, she learned how to ring the doorbell. Okay. Yeah, honey top white bread crust. Just kind of basic good though. You know what I'm saying? You might taste it and say, ah, that just tastes like regular old whiskey. No, that's what it is. It's regular old whiskey. No age statement. It's probably got coloring added to make it this dark. It's not illegal. It's allowed. So for this style of whiskey, do I pick? It says gentle smoky notes. I don't think I ever picked up any smoke with this product. I don't know what they're talking about, but if you watch the video reviews for this, people like it. Oh, that's who makes it, Whyte and Mackay. Whyte and Mackay, which is its own brand of Scotch, and they also make the Whyte and Mackay high overproof rum, I believe. All right, so which is 151 proof, and no thank you on that one. Jura Distillery, owned by Whyte and Mackay. Have I ever had the Mackay Scotch? Whyte and Mackay? No, I haven't. Would I try it? Well, yeah, I'd try it. Doesn't Whyte and Mackay own John Barr also? John Barr Scotch? I think they do. And could they be using Jura single malt in the John Barr? Yeah, they use these single malts. I mean, they could. I don't know if they are. These single malts are sold as their own whiskey, but they also are blended in to make blended Scotch whiskeys. Grain whiskey blended together with malt, single malt whiskey. They could do that in Canada if they wanted to. You know, they could take like the malt whiskey that they used in like Crown Royal and sell it as its own you know, Crown Royal single malt. But they haven't done that. Well, I'd say Crown Royal hasn't done that, but I mean, probably some Canadian companies have done that. I'm just not aware of it. At this point in time, these companies have done everything. Every kind of flavored whiskey you could think of. I bought one yesterday and realized it was ginger spice, so I brought it back. I didn't even get to my car yet, and I went back to Walmart and said, I thought this was I thought it was a unflavored whiskey. I didn't know it was spiced, and the lady was like, oh, "Okay," so they just credited it back to the credit card. It wasn't any big deal, but I wasted 15 minutes, you know. It was called Cask and Crew. I wish I could have found the original just whiskey, like I found the regular Bird Dog bourbon, 80 proof, unflavored, not even listed on their website in the tall bottle. The website got the medicine shaped bottles. Hey, look, most every whiskey company I know of shows you what they want to on their website, and then they make all these other brands that they don't bother showing. I can't explain why they do that. I wish they'd be more comprehensive, but they're not. Yeah. So Finlaggan smoking. It's got a little sour note to it though, like a sour bread. Like you say, that's like the bread got spoiled. Yeah, it's kind of like that, like fermented bread or something. But you know, it's whiskey, so it is fermented and then it's distilled, so it makes sense. Let's see, Jura Journey, real fast. It says a welcoming single malt whiskey that will transport you to the Isle of Jura, light and fruity with a touch of gentle spice. Definitely light. Yeah, it has a little fruitiness, I suppose you could say that. The ideal starting place for exploring our Jura range. That's why they call it Journey, because you're starting on a journey through the Jura brands. Would I like to take that journey? I sure would. Look at all the whiskeys they make. You can't even keep up. Signature series, travel exclusive. Of course, you have to buy that on a trip. Rare and limited, past expressions. Well, those are ones they no longer make, but that they could bring back. You know how these companies do. Color, amber gold. Yep, that's what I said. More like gold, though. Nose, vanilla, coconut, and banana. Vanilla, coconut, and banana. I don't smell any of that. I just smell like basic whiskey to me. Taste, creamy vanilla, no. Pecan pie, no. A touch of soft cinnamon, no. And fresh pear, maybe. So, you know, same old story with me. These companies got these elaborate tasting notes, and I don't ever pick it up. Jura Journey is matured in American white oak ex-bourbon barrels, a cask finish. And it's 40 proof, and it's saying, what is that chart show? There's a barrel chart for each whiskey going from unpeated to peated. And yes, this is American white oak, and it's 80% unpeated. And you can't taste it. So it even though it's 20% peated, in this challenge at least, it's not showing up because of the heavy smokiness from Finlaggan. But very much recommend, especially if you can get it for $22 like I did, but chances are you won't. But I was shocked, flabbergasted, and quite delighted to find it for $22. Finlaggan Old Reserve. See what I'm saying? Same thing. Big breakfast fruitiness. Old preserves are more like old preserves. Plus nuts and chocolate. What a start. I mean, fat mouth arrival, more chocolate in. Oh, peat, lashings of it. Well, definitely that. Now, they're right about that. Lashings of peated, you know, smoky peat. Finish, back to fruit again. Then chocolate mousse. Chocolate mousse, all interlocked by peat. Brilliant. That's what they're saying. They're calling their own product brilliant. Well, yeah. To me, the Finlaggan is the winner. But it makes sense. I prefer the smokiness. Okay. Other people would say, wrong. The Jura is the winner because it doesn't have all that heavy smoke. It's more like the honey in it. Okay, that's a personal preference issue. is there a quality difference here? No. So I'll just go and say Finlaggan's the winner. It is $3 cheaper, in my experience. Now you might see different prices, but in my experience, $3 cheaper. But it's a little bit better. So GMAC 187 says all liquors were a journey to a hangover when I was in my 20s. Yeah, I'm afraid that's for many people. Maxwell says hello, Ron. Hello to you, Maxwell, and the ever expanding or supposedly expanding Russian Federation. Jordy's Den says, hello, happy Saturday, Ronald. I hope you're doing good, bud. Thumbs up and smiling guy with sunglasses. I am doing well, Jordy. I hope you're doing well. But that brings us to the end. I'm going to watch the news. And so cheers to Finlaggan, another winner for them. And we're going to close it out tomorrow with Finlaggan versus Glenn. Glenn wrote this 18-year age. Glenn wrote this 18-year age. Wow. All right. Thanks, everybody.